So you said you would cross-promote with other organizations. What do you hope to get out of that, and how are you going to approach that? Like, how is that going to benefit FASA at all?
I feel that cross-promoting with other clubs opens up active membership and adding to our membership as well. I personally am part of the Black Student Union, African Student Association. I'm part of like different cultural clubs, and opening your eyes to other different cultures. You know, I don't know how many times I've said this, but like it opens your eyes to yourself. And so that is already an increase in membership just by being there. And so I feel like if we actively join other clubs, especially in the new ECC, becoming an ECC like family, and using those resources, then it will definitely increase our membership as well.
Okay. With that question, with my experience with the Greek organizations, cross-promoting and we call it mixers, is one of the most important things that we have to do, because it pretty much involves everyone and getting everyone aware of everyone's culture. And in that sense, you build a community wherein everyone's supportive of each other. And when you need something, there's always that one organization that you could always pull through, or you could always be that organization that other people can help other organizations when they need.
This is a follow-up to Mike's question. Oftentimes, FASA does try to collaborate with different organizations, but obviously we have different methods and procedures about doing different things. How would you deal with a situation in which you're trying to hold a mixer, but the club or organization you're working with is being difficult or not providing the same money, or there's some sort of conflict of interest?
Well, then in that case, we would have to sit down with the officers that we are collaborating with, and have to make sure that we get on some sort of same level and address calmly our issues along with their issues, because I feel like just putting those aside isn't going to work, because mixing with other clubs is beneficial, and so if we get that across, hopefully they'll understand, and if they don't, then we will essentially almost cut ties, but we'll understand not to work with them.
Okay, so like she said, it's always a good thing to have every of the officers and even the members sit down in a round table and talk about the differences and what you can do to accommodate with those differences. A couple of ideas that we actually did with my fraternity when some of the other fraternities or organizations doesn't collaborate correctly or do things as planned is by having a contract in order to hold them accountable of what they're supposed to do and what they are responsible for. Then from there, you could hold them accountable with pretty much, I would say, everything. We got time for one more question. Second one.
The past few years, we've used technology to push a lot of our PR on Facebook, Twitter, the website. A lot of it can come out as spamming to our members and anyone that gets it. How would you balance that versus a more personal outreach to members?
Okay, so one thing that we actually do for Sigma Beta Rho is this thing called, I guess you can call it cold calling, where you actually call people personally and maybe leave them a voice message. Each one of those calls would only take 2 minutes at the most, at max. Other than that, if you want to get to know other people more personally, I also have this idea with mixers, I guess, or dinner dates that we actually use for recruitment or talking to alumni in order to get their support, and being able to be in contact with every other officers of different organizations. Aside from what you said, the Facebook, Twitter, or any of those things, you could also you still have the options of the personal emails, talking to the current alumni, and for them to actually talk to their friends, because I'm pretty sure that the alumni right now are well connected with each other, and from there, just talking to one person will branch out to 7 at most. I mean, at least, sorry.
Right, exactly off that last point. Word of mouth is really an incredible thing, especially with an active PR. An active PR, what keeps being an active FASA is basically the community that it's built, and having an active PR creates an active community, which creates active members. And as coming back to technology, we want to make sure that it's not spamming, and with what's it called? Advertising people that I am in contact with. I've been having that conversation with the Hip Hop Student Association and stuff like that. So we know exactly how to make sure that it's not spamming, but to make sure that it's just like a friendly reminder